Hey guys, a week or so back I presented this Emerson radio, model R167, that my dad owns, and I agreed to do the electrical restoration, and again I think he's going to take on the cabinet itself. So hey, I can't wait to take a peep underneath and check out the chassis itself a little closer, and we'll do that from the top side as well as underneath for the first time together. So let me get these three knobs off here in the front, and then whatever fasteners underneath, and we'll pull this thing out together and take a look at it here. Real quick, before I pull the knobs off, I was checking. This is again the on and off, and this appears to be the tone control, because on the back is the band switch itself. And the tuning condenser here, and you can see the dial cord itself appears to be broke because we're not moving this, but I can feel the tuning condenser is very free, and I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but we'll look at that as well when we pull this out of the cabinet. Okay, we only had two of the fasteners. One of the fasteners was already out. And here's one fastener, and again you can see those rubber washers there have flattened out and deteriorated. Alright, if I recall correctly, this radio has a, I think it was a 6 or 6.5 inch speaker, and very easy to work with, because again this one, instead of being hardwired in and having to fool with that and cutting the wires or disconnecting and soldering, you can just pull it out of the plug here. So again, you've got the field coil here and the output transformer here. This appears to be the original, I would guess. Yeah, it looks original here. Old rubber line cord. It's dry rotted as can be on the outside. So anyway, let's pull this thing out here and take a look at it. Pretty cool right here. First of all, if you look at this, there's a divider plane here that's set up that holds the chassis itself, which is very, very narrow. Matter of fact, just for giggles, we'll check it super quick here. What, 7.5 inches or so is all, and it's not very deep. It's probably 4 inches deep or so. So this is the, I think that's going to be my band switch. Just scoot this up a little bit, and there we have it. Just in a better camera angle here so we can see it together. So there's a top side down view, and doesn't look bad at all. Just a little bit of dust and dirt. I don't see any rust. That's a good sign. Let me get this cabinet out of the way, and we'll get a better angle here on the chassis and start giving it a go over. Hey, before I get back to the chassis, check this out again. More of the rubber washers that I was talking about, and again these act as shock mounts plus support the chassis itself to minimize again the vibration and get the proper height here. So these things are all deformed, and I was wondering, back here in the back, here's my spring for the tuning condenser. So I'm sure we're going to find some dial cord here wrapped around, or pieces of that missing as well. But pretty neat inside the cabinet. And again, there you can see made in the USA. It's an R167, and again I had already done the research here on the cabinet. It's an Ingraham cabinet. So let me set this aside here, and let's get this chassis back in view here. Can't wait to flip this thing over together and see what we got underneath. I think this is probably the most exciting part, is to look at the underneath side of these old radios and see what we've got. Again, I'm going to leave the tubes in and hold it in my hand. Hopefully I won't mess up anything here. Let me flip it around this way so I'm on the control stems. and just grab this thing from the back side. So here we go, if this is showing up with the lighting that I have, and I tell you what, it looks pretty nice and clean. No signs of any mice. Let me see if I can set this down just a minute and readjust my overhead light here. Maybe that's a little better. But this thing looks fantastic. Should be able to take the vacuum and a little bit of forced air and get most of that dust out of there. The transformer leads look good. There's really no signs there of any frayed wires. This appears to be cloth wiring for the most part. This one is rubber, but just looking at it, you've got again some wax caps. Looks to have the original dog bone resistors, and maybe that's a paper cap over there, another wax. But rather simple design. There's not a lot of caps in here. I think this thing will make for a easy repair. Again, assuming the transformer's good and healthy, and the coils. So we'll give those a quick test offline. And again, you can see here the tuning condenser is free as can be. Lots of times you find these things all seized up. So we're really in good shape here. Again, just a little bit of dust here to contend with, but looks great. Terminal strip mounted here. Looks like there's a cap underneath. It's not going to show up on camera, I don't believe, but I'll hold this a little closer and try not to shake this thing around so you guys can get one good look at it underneath here. So here you go. I know this is kind of short, more of an introduction, but we showed the cabinet again a few weeks ago. Really neat, cool design, and thought it was worth popping this thing over, take a look, and I like what I see because, again, I don't think anybody's been underneath here, and to me that's always an easier restore or repair. So we'll do some basic checks. I'll probably do a lot of this offline instead of producing full-blown videos. I'll keep you guys updated on my progress along the way. But should make for a fun repair. And like I said, I'll clean this up, and I'll speak back with my dad, and we'll make a decision if he wants to tackle the cabinet or if he would like me to take it on. So folks, thanks again for checking this out. Again, this is a little Emerson R167.